All right, so we continue on. This is a game that every time I look at it, every time it's my turn, I feel like this is a lost game. I get done with my turn, and I'm like, okay, maybe we got a chance. Right now, so I'm looking at it, feel like this is a lost game. I mean, it's good that I'm having this Persia plug. I'm pretty confident I can. Well, I know I'm going to hold it through G10. I feel like I can hold it through G11, but I can't. I got to be careful not to lose this or 36. And of course, my choice of having a split income for access, because I got a split income for allies, means Japan's still got quite a bit of money, and so they're building a couple fighters a turn, which means I'm going to have to build another boat, another carrier to land fighters on here every so often, which means there's not fighters there, and or keep shuttling fighters in and about from this other side. So one, two, three, four, five, six. Okay, so we got to protect against one. Yeah. So, in any case, so we're buying 6 infantry and 3 fighters. So 6 infantry, 4 going down here. Yes, it gives me 1 extra, but I just had 3 IPC left over, so I couldn't really do. I mean, I could buy a tank or buy some arts, but I'd rather just. I don't need that. So I just went ahead and bought the extra infantry to place on here. I'll pick them up. Eventually, I'll get something other than an infantry here with that extra spot. We're going to put 2 fighters in here so that we can move 2 fighters on in. Now, we need 9 fighters in here. We got 6. We got 3 going in. We're going to have these 2 hanging out, ready to go this way or go this way. And then we're going to have the 2 extra, which I got a feeling I'm going to park more like here so that we got lots of hitters ready to hit here and bounce over to Persia, because we've got to try to keep this dead zoned as best as we can, which is also frustrating because he's adding 3 units a turn walking straight down from Japan, so we got to match those 3 units here, and that's where we're running short, right? We're building 13 units a turn here. They're building 12 and 3, hitting me from each side. That's where we're running short. So I think he's just, could he push me here? I think he just keeps building infantry, and he's going to win that battle eventually. So I'm going to break there at some point, but hopefully we can keep shucking and make any progression into Africa slow. And ultimately we do have a very slight income advantage. So at some point we're going to build, once we get enough ground here in the next couple turns, we'll build a couple U.S. transports, bring the air back, and then hit Philippines. So I'm probably next turn going to be building a second carrier so that eventually we can fly 2 fighters over here. We've got 8 guys ready to go. We drop 2 transports here, and then we hit the Philippines. I'm okay with 2 extra U.S. transports because once we take the Philippines, we're going to have to make that a factory just to match the production. And then we start, 2 pumping out of here. And I always I'm always about slowly adding extra transports here. I think I said infantry, but transports here. Just because every so often you may have to sacrifice them. Once they break Persia, I may have to sacrifice a transport to just plug the stop over here. So let's see how this goes. We can grab some points for U.S. there, of course. I don't think we have any other attacks with the U.S. We're shipping down here. I wish I had 1 U.S. troop here that I could hit with these guys, but we're going to have to rely on. Yeah, we're going to have to rely on UK to hit these guys this turn. So, yeah, that looks like it on the attacks. non-combat. We just keep marching everybody. Again, these fighters, they're sitting ready to go whichever way I need them to. I don't need them in here yet, so... So I'm building the fighter here. I'm bringing the fighter down here. So I've got one fighter and the carrier to protect here. They've got their... this bomber can't reach. Only the one bomber can reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So only one bomber can reach. So the one carrier with fighter can be my safety. That fighter that's on the boat could go 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 3. The fighter that I build here can go 1, 2, 3, 4 to 3, or it can fly on down to here. So we could load a U.S. carrier up here if we decided to, so that we would have 2 carriers, 3 transports. That's 5, 7 with the 2 fighters. He's got 6 fighters, 2 bombers. If he leaves his fighters there, he's probably okay. But then we can also come back to hitting here. This fighter cannot reach there then, but at least this fighter and one of these fighters could if we had this fighter to spare. But we can also build UK units into there. But that'll protect the 2 transports this turn from their 2 bombers. Maybe he'll move off of Karelia, allowing me into C-Zone 3. I don't know. We'll see what... That just all that just depends on what he ends up... How he ends up playing this. I suppose at some point I should check to see if I have any counterattack, but I've just been kind of assuming because I'm multinational that we're not going to have a good attack there, but at some point that might happen that we do. I needed to... Oh, I forgot to move the transport back. Dang it! Stupid mistakes. Stupid mistakes. That one transport should have been an 11 this turn. That was a wasted... Fraggle rock. Frickin' racka. I hate when I do stupid stuff. Stupid stuff. Well, nothing to be done about it now. It is what it is. 2 less infantry I have to build next turn, I guess. Hate when stupid mistakes are what get you in. I'm still in defensive mode here, so I'm okay blitz trading this back and forth. So he's the attacker here. He's the one that wants to make me trade, to be honest. So I'm okay trading, just blitzing in and out. Russia's got nothing to do but just sit tight. So here's our 57 infantry, 67 counting the arts, 69, 73, 75, 84 units is 52, 69, 75 plus 8, 83. So we're getting close. And he's got a lot of attackers here. He doesn't have just infantry sitting there. So It's tight. We've got our units coming in. He's building 12 a turn right in here, unfortunately. That's what's really hurting me. Mine take a couple, now I'm landing here and then shifting over. So, well, we'll see how this goes. Okay, so this is starting to get really pretty hairy here. The multinational armies and navies and air forces and turn order is really making this two-prong hole get very tricky. I won't get into all the details, but I've calculated out what I need to hold G11, what I need to hold G12 if he does a max build of 4 artillery, 6 tanks. And then, of course, moving those 11 infantry into here next turn. I'm doing my calculations, and then I'm also calculating here. I'm going to trade this turn, but then if he moves all of that in, what do I need to trade it back? And how do I time the fighters? I need 3 fighters in C-Zone 36 to protect the fleet. How do I time the fighters here, 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 here? So that we can do a 1-2 with US doing a 1 punch and punching the others, but making sure we hold G11. If we do a 1-2 punch, we will be pulling out of Persia, but we got to hold through G11 or else we just let our UK get crushed. So we got to have 12 fighters. I think it was 12. I have to go back and look at that number. Sitting in here. Maybe it wasn't 12. Yeah, no, I think it was 12. Because we're going to get this one and these 2 in, and that'll get me up to the 12. Starting by this fighter and these 2 fighters joining. So the U.S. only needs to keep 3 in there. We can bring 1 of these over. Where other 2 are going up this way. But we can bring 1 over to there. And so that would mean 1 of these could leave plus these 4. So I could have a 5 fighter hit with the U.S. And then I could use all of the UK planes that we accumulate here to hit on the second round with the UK. So this is going to get very thin to the point where if he decides to go ahead and throw everything in there, assuming UK takes this turn as they should, if he decides to push everything in, it'll be slightly negative for me, but positive, 50-50-ish. And then we're calling back in here, and then maybe we can make a push past all these guys after that. I don't know. We're going to see. This is going to get tricky. It is weakening our Persia G12, so if he did a perfect purchase, he could push through unless I use my transport from 36 to transport troops over to here, or to grab these troops and transport them over. Then it starts getting a little bit, well, we can block it, so we might do a send over here and come back to 37 to build some fleet up to then come back to 36 the next turn. So lots of things, lots of possibilities, lots of but it's getting fragile. It's just getting very fragile here. So in any case, we're going to build 7 infantry, all for these guys. We're going to build a fighter and a destroyer to help beef up our defenses up here. We're going to simply grab 1 to take here. We're going to put 1 up here. That'll leave me 4 to... Actually, I'm going to put 2 up here. Yes, he can kill it. He'll kill it easily, but with 2, maybe we get a hit back and he can't take the territory. And then that'll leave me 3 units here with a fighter to conquer next time with. I do wish I could afford to get a UK guy in here to as well, but Japan's not over here trading it, so then US just doesn't get it, so I'm happy with US getting it since UK's got a lot of money already. All right, we do need to take this successfully. I know a lot of people cringe at that, but we gotta trust it. We can't overuse lies here, because this fighter needs to go to Persia for all the rest of the plans to stick in.
You do not want to miss Kohl's Cyber Days. Sunday through Monday, get up to 50% off gifts for everyone on your list. Kohl's and Kohl's.com.
Reaching your financial goals can feel impossible. Credit Karma gives you personalized guidance to improve your credit, savings, taxes, and more, so you can find your way to money. Intuit Credit Karma. Carl can help.
They said I had to take tests when they tell me to.
They said my degree would cost a fortune, but I didn't have to listen to them because I have a university that listens to me.
Tests on your graduate.
Okay, do your job.
The University of You.
Come on. Thank you. Thank you. Rats. I was hoping 2 would, though, because then I have a better chance of getting a hit back when he takes it. So we actually needed all of that to help our 1-2 chances here.
Crunchy hazelnuts, smooth milk chocolate, lovingly layered and wrapped in iconic gold. Celebrate the holidays. Raise a roast.
Is anybody there? The other option is I could go back here and grab this guy, let him take it free, and then move back in next turn. Yeah, I think I'm going. So yeah, I think I'm going to lean towards doing it this way and trying to hopefully get a hit back, and then we can drop an AA in there. Ooh, why am I not doing that this turn? Duh. So let's do this. That leaves me 4 attackers back. Make him think about that 6 fighters, 2 bombers hitting in there. That'll give him at least a headache, at least, right? Alright, I think everything else is set. Alright, that's what we look like now. The longer we can hold that for the income, the better. Yes, this looks bad right now, but we are going to gain some more after the U.S. turn. So we'll close that gap a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Even very, very, very slowly, plus 18, plus 26, closing the gap. So they're running, what, 84 income? We're running 90 income. So that's why it's so important to hold that Persia and not have to battle back. Or if we lose Persia, we got to battle up that coast of China and gain income up this way then. So if we lose income here, we need to gain income up this way. Really want to start looking at timing our Philippines attack too. So that's the income game, and slowly, it'll take us a long game for us to win this game, but that's what we're here for. Okay, Japan built their 2 fighters, couple ground. Board's getting quite complex to even look at. I'm looking at building a couple tanks down here, because when I come here, they can jump to Persia and back, if we're still even holding on to Persia at that point. I got a feeling I'm going to hold G11, going to hold G12, but I think that'll be it. G12 is going to take some trickery, but I think that's as far. most likely. But if US 10, US 11, US 12, that'll help with the possibility of G13 stop. I got a feeling that's just, we're going to run out of steam at that point. But hopefully not. So we're looking at 5 infantry, 2 tanks, 2 fighters. I think that's it, right? Yeah. 4 of the infantry are going back here for my transports to pick up and continue to load down this way. 2 fighters are going into this C zone. Again, C zone because I can't put them here and they can't reach Persia. If I put them in the C zone, they can reach Persia. So it's just all part of that. What can we dump in? What can we dump in? What can we dump in? So those can go 1, 2, 3, 4. These 2 can hit and then land there. And that'll give us these. I think I'm going to pull 1 tank. Oh, wait. We do want 1 tank to blitz. The other tank, I'm going to go ahead and pull them on back over here for that exact reason of why I'm building the tanks here, is they can shoot, they can shuttle back and forth there. And that's all of our attacks. Should have looked at it. I didn't pay attention if... Ooh, whoa. Rats. I could have used the money for the U.S., but it's only 1 IPC, and we can take it with 1 infantry of UK, and we're okay. Did he attack with 1, or did he attack 1 infantry? Okay, so he's conserving as well on his attack. That's cool. So... he could strike him if he wanted to. I don't know that that's a real great play by him. So I need 1 of these fighters to come into here because I need both fighters up there. And this guy can come on down here next time, and this one can pump on over. I only built 3 ground this time for this one to even that out so that I can build those 2 tanks. I did save a couple IPC for next time. Did everybody else move that needed to... Oh, wait, we were going to move 1 of you guys back. This is potentially tempting for him. 4, 5, 6. We got 9 versus his 8, but overall he's got a little more power. So he may consider that shot. I don't know. I've got to get. I feel like this game is in his favor. So when we look at the attack power, this is a 85 point difference. He's getting 83. I got 92. So I'm going to be taking back 3 at around at that. Make up 85. We're going to be here a while. Longer. It'd take longer than this is going to hold. This and this is going to hold is the problem. The other part of that is additionally we've got, let's see, 1, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 22 attack power and boats. Is that? So we've got 24 of our attack power kind of in wasted land. He's got 1, 2, 3, 13 attack power wasted on guys just sitting on land, right? So that 85 is actually, I lost track of what I said, 22 and whatever, 13. So we're actually like 94, 95 effective attack power difference. I know that stat's not exactly correct, and it's a little bit misleading because attack power and attack strength and defense power and defense strength are a little bit different as well. But yeah, still not great for us. So we'll keep plugging along here. He's not making mistakes right now, unfortunately. So I'm going to, when I go over here, so I got a feeling next turn, Germany, not next turn, then the turn after, but soon I'm going to use transports to come over to jump people over and jump people from Africa over to help hold the plug one turn, and then the Navy that needs to go will go there. But right now I just got to protect from 2 bombers and 1 bomber, so it doesn't really need to be much. And this season only needs 1 bomber protection. So we'll come down here, have UK build a couple transports and some fighters and get our carrier loaded up because we won't be grabbing the guys for a couple turns. So we can get boats built and then planes built the next turn, and then come back building in the boats here with our ground that we've hopefully will have saved up, and then we go to then we pivot to Philippines with 2 loads of 4 boats and all our planes coming back as we release the plug, and then good thing. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so unfortunately with the fighter, with the U.S. fighters, the fighters on the boat can go 1, 2, 3, and say they're being caught on a carrier being built. The UK fighters, and so then we could have 2 fighters on the ground here or here also go 1, 2, 3, boom. So we'll be able to max out at 4 fighters right now, unless we get another carrier built, which I really want to try to get another U.S. carrier built. But right now I'm having to max out the fighters to keep the pump going. When we release that plug, if we can get another carrier, that'll increase us to 8 fighters, 4 on the plane, 4 on ground. Then that could strike at the Philippines at one time. So that's what we're hoping to get. And then again, like I said, in this time, in that shifting around, build a couple more transports so that we'll have 8 ground, 8 fighters, followed by the UK capability. So, and then hopefully that also, when we load up these carriers and transports back into 36, he's also got to protect here and here, even here. So there's some stuff to do when the Persia plug comes on, when we have to give up that Persia plug. There's things we can do, but we got to act quick because we got to balance out. Again, we're going to start losing money this way, so we got to balance that out by getting money this way pretty quick. So that's the plan. Okay, this is gonna be kind of quick. We're going to give him slightly favorable odds here, like 54% odds at +2 IPC. I feel like I don't like my position that greatly, so I'm going to give it to him, see what he does with them. He's seemed to be kind of content on just slowly building this up until I can't hold this anymore, which he goes another round, and I won't be able to, I don't think. Again, I'm not calculating out multiple turns out like I probably should. I kind of got myself in a little bit of a bind here in that because I didn't move, I got to decide on US's turn if I'm going to bail out on 36, which means I got to decide on US's turn if I'm going to be bailing out on Persia for a turn and a half later, and I didn't go in that. That's just that multinational part in my head just doesn't want to do that. I hate to say that, but it just doesn't. So I've painted myself back into a corner here in essence. So I've got to stay in 36, but I can only pull one fighter out of here while bringing these other fighters in. Yeah, there's nothing much more I can say about it. But I am going to indicate to him, if he's paying attention closely here, that I'm not going to try to stop G13. I'm in essence giving him G13 because I got to keep in order to hold G12. This is this whole turn order issue. To hold G12, then I've got to keep all my U.S. fighters that can reach here, other than these two. These two are going to be in 36. So these two could hit. These two could go 1, 2, 3, 4, hoping I don't get any of the fighters hit and land back, and then the UK strike. And that's where everything becomes a little bit iffy. So I really got to kind of have it be, in essence, the UK strong enough to manage keeping this dead zoned from Japan by themselves. And to do that, I'm going to have to keep all these guys. Well, one guy's going to have to take Union, but the 4 I shuck are going to have to stay here. I'm not going to be able to move to India. Just India moving over is it. So if he's watching, he could probably decipher that I'm getting ready to give that up, but I got to make it through G12 because I've already planted. I guess I could pull out right now, but I don't want to pull out quite yet because of what I was talking about, and just needing just a little longer to get some units set up here. So anyways, that's a lot to say. Here we go. So in order to get these units to Africa, I'm going to have to back out of C-Zone 6 for a turn. I'm going to take this, since I'm not going to actually be building anything up here for a turn, I think. I'm going to take advantage to go ahead and get another carrier fighter built here, because only one bomber can reach here. And then that might give me flexibility to maybe be able to go to 34-47 combination or 34-49 combination, depending on his Japan transports in a turn. We'll see. Um,
Key to this is to
I'm
agitate it very slowly.
I'm a little hesitant to this, and the reason being, again, is this the timing on this Philippines. I really want U.S. to take the Philippines, but if I have enough UK to dead zone it, maybe that means he'll pull fighters out eventually, and then U.S. can take it, quote, cheaper. So, and I also do want to kind of untangle these fleets. I'd like to actually pull a mini UK fleet back this way if possible. I don't know. We're going to have to see here, but I'm just not digging on this a whole lot right now.
So here we have a nice apple confit with some Greenoise.
So I think we're going to time things to unwind here, pull out of Persia for G13, and start pressuring and having a little bit more fleet to give me a little bit more flexibility to not be stuck in one spot. Maybe I can do a little bit of go grab this guy, head over to 34, reinforce, attack things as he starts working through there. So yeah, I don't know. I'm starting to rush these a little bit. I'm getting myself overwhelmed a little in real life, so we are just going to do it. Big attacks.
So we're gonna do a chocolate and wine cake with a blackberry bacon jam and some candied bacon. And then I'm gonna do, thinking for like the other tasting, we'll do a strawberry walnut cake with a strawberry fig and sumac jam.
So, one transport, I'm going to come back here and get ready to go grab these guys next turn. And then hopefully he goes, I'm going down here, he goes down there. I come back, he comes back. We'll figure it out. But we'll go ahead and get some guys working across North Africa. We just have to protect against 2 bombers, so we're going to be bringing this carrier again. So US 11, 12, 13, 14. US 11, 12, 13, 14. Either way, they get there to the same timing. But here, we can get some UK guys in here too, so we're going to land here, bring our fighters down. We just got to prepare against 2 guys here. We're going to go ahead and get him down here, where he can flex back and forth. With the carrier here, all these fighters against still can hit C-Zone 5, so that's still dead, keeping our C-Zone 5 dead zoned. I wonder if I just bring my carrier down here. Let's keep it up there so we don't allow any dead zones. Two destroyers. Yeah, I think we're just going to do that. There. Okay, move everybody out here. And like I said, he's going to have a little bit of a shot here if he wants to take it. I gotta look at my defense profiles. I may need to neutralize those. Figure out the best I should be doing there. Alrighty.
What they're thinking, but right now, every Domino's pizza is half off online. Every single pizza. Like what? I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm just gonna get half off some
Only one bomber can reach there, so... But it does mean we're only putting two infantry to shuck next turn. But that's okay, because I'm thinking about taking 2 this way, and if we can plug this again, we'll plug it again, but I just thinking we're probably not going to be able to do anything there. So I'm going to end it here. I'm going to play around with my defense profile, decide if I want fighters first or carriers first, you know, in this Season 36 battle. And that's the only thing I'm going to do different than what it looks like right now. Okay, so here we go. Another turn, another round, another figuring out Persia versus sitting over here. The beauty of it is, even with Japan's growing force here, UK alone, after UK 12 turn, they'll be moving these 2 infantry in, this fighter coming over. They've got 3 fighters. They'll have 10 fighters. They're just going to keep their infantry there, so they'll have 10, 2, and 10 fighters. That gives me 22 units versus his 19 that he can put in there. And believe it or not, voila, that is a profitable battle, although not necessarily to take. But we would survive and have all our fighters still live. And so that would be a favorable result for us. So the U.S. can keep pumping out this direction. They can just keep streamlining this direction. So he did not take the possible battle here. And so that tells me it doesn't want to take too much of a risk, especially with the battleship, because then I get that regenerated if he doesn't kill it. So what am I going to do? I'm going to build another battleship. You heard me right. I'm going to build another battleship. And we're going to drop a fighter. Again, I'm doing more work on this game than I really wanted to, but it's gotten rather interesting. So I did a quick G13, and in essence, if I build a battleship, I love saying I'm building a battleship. I never build battleships, but I'm going to build a battleship. I need 26 fighters in this theater for G13 turns. Some of them have to be on the boats in here, and some of them will be done. I think it's 6 here and 21 there. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 7, 13, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 that can fly down to here, and the one other fighter I'm building makes 26. It means, again, we're gonna weaken our Atlantic fleet a little bit here. We're gonna give him a shot with 2 bombers against 2 destroyers and a carrier. Or we'll have 2 destroyers, 2 carriers down here. We're going to protect the 4 transports with 4 boats and 1 transport with 3 boats. Of course, if you wipe that and try to do a sea lion drop or something like that, that could get very interesting. I'm not even trying to calculate and figure out what that would mean. Because if you wipe that, then my fighters here wouldn't be able to dead zone there at all. I'd have my guys here, though, that would be not too far away and flying back up, and I don't know what exactly all that would mean, to be honest. I would have to it doesn't seem like that would be a good thing, so I'm just gonna take that for that. It doesn't feel good to me, so I think we'll be okay. So yeah, so we are building 2 infantry, 2 tanks again for Borneo. We're gonna just not worry about building for here for this turn. We'll just come back to East USA. As long as he's camping them there, I don't really have enough resources to protect here and here, and yeah. So we're just gonna we'll just come straight back to here next turn. Actually, we're coming from here, straight back to here next turn, and yeah, that's just how we're gonna have to be. Maybe with the fact that I can still dump emergency transports into here. Maybe we can get these 8 groups that we're getting built here. Let's see, are built up here on 11. I'll go here 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I don't know that they'll last that long, but who knows? Who knows? Strange things happen in this game. So yeah, so we're building 2 infantry, 2 tanks, a fighter, and yes, a battleship to fill our 6 spots down here. So since I don't have to take it, I'm going to continue to do the cheap trade here when I can, and then obviously I should kill it, and if I have to move a UK guy, I move a UK guy. I'd like to get that 1 point for the US, but I'd rather take the chances of doing it with just 1 infantry than committing 2. And I believe that's our only attacks again. This is very, this is all the front that we really have. We have this tiny little skirmish, which he's going to blast through that, and then hopefully, and then he'll come here, and then 2 turns I'll come back and be able to crash back into him. We're kind of at a stalemate. Although my forces are slowly getting difficult to hold here. We're just hoping we can close the attack power gap enough in that time before we have to start really battling this and then fighting this. But the second battleship will also help me with this eventually. So it's coming. It's coming. At some point there's going to be a breaking point, but I'm kind of the one deciding that right now. So onward we go. Woo. Yay, bonus point. We'll take it. And that lets UK just build up their growth. Oh, nope. We can't do that. Wrong planes. You guys gotta go over there. I need to double check. So we got 3, 15, 17. That's what I needed. We do need to send that guy on over. Oh, Daco. I needed to land one of those guys on there. Dang it. How am I going to do this now? Well, we can land him here. Not ideal. I don't want to put the tank there because he can air raid the tank kind of profitably. And it's not really like that's going to change much whether he's here or here. He's less likely to hit him. So with my 26 fighters, I got to make sure I don't use one of these guys to go here. He needs to fly straight over there next turn. And then this guy would fly in to replace there. To replace one of these guys. So we just got to remember not to use one of these guys to attack unit next turn. You guys better be reminding me because I'm obviously going to forget. And Russia just sits. They do what they've been doing best for the past however long now. So this is what it's looking like. Again, I should probably keep track. I mean, I'm seeing plus 23, plus 8. I think we're catching slowly. Doesn't feel like it, though. We're still 91 back. He's collecting 84. We're collecting 94. So we're trying to slowly chip away at that and hold our slight gain. So the good news is, U.S. is, well, that's right. I didn't collect 94. I collected 91. I saved 3. So 91 collection. And 84. But 50-52 is roughly equal, and Japan is just, UK is just slightly outproducing Japan. The difference is I've got all my power divided, my army is divided amongst 3 versus his, primarily 1. And that's the painful part right there. But here we go. Zoom in so if you guys can see the numbers a little bit in case you're curious. He's got 11 fighters and 3 bombers now on the Japan side. I mean, we're keeping Germany's income down somewhat, or it'd be even more of a beast, but Japan's becoming a major thorn in the side. All right, so moving on to our complex puzzle, continuing to head into it. So Germany kind of went at putting pressure on Persia, but they didn't go all out. So they bought the 4 artillery and they bought 2 tanks back here in Moscow. But they also went ahead and built 8 infantry, 6 here. I'm presuming because he bought the 2 up here because he's got plenty down here right now. He doesn't need to build back there anymore. Which may be why he chose on 2 tanks, is because that maxed out his build in these 14 spots. So, but because he didn't go max tanks here, we can defend Persia for G13 and still defend this guy at least for Japan 12. After that, we'll have to see about Japan 13, if we can hold that. If not, we're going to be committed to holding this G13, so we have to decide if we're going to pull the U.S. fleet out and do kind of that split here and here or something at that point based on Japan's builds, but we're going to play that when we get to that. So we actually got 1 extra fighter, so one of these fighters can come back. And so we're going to build with UK, we're going to build 7 infantry and 2 fighters, or 7 infantry going down here. We're going to drop 2 fighters up here, and we're just going to drop and take Northwest Europe this turn. This transport's going to go ahead and come on over here and pick up these guys. This transport's going to come up and drop a guy in Northwest Europe. It does mean we only have 1 guy and 2 fighters there. Maybe actually I'll take this. I'm gonna take this 1 infantry from here, I think. Even though I want to build this up, I'll leave the artillery, but I'm gonna take the 1 infantry to take Northwest Europe. So I have 2 infantry, 2 fighters for when he moves those 2 infantry to Finland next turn. And then hopefully we'll have the infantry tank, and hopefully maybe we'll have enough here to then bounce up this direction, but then of course our U.S. fleet's going to have to do a long route to avoid the bombers. So we'll figure that turn out when we get to that turn. Things are just a bit too complex on this game. I think that is our only attack. This is kind of slow. I mean, we're buying time. I guess I did see, by the way, and so I think I'm going to change this If I can. And actually just put an infantry in here to take this. I think we can. I'm worried about losing units faster, but we're starting to get to the point where we're not going to be able to hold it regardless before too much longer. That I might go ahead. I might wait till US's turn. They've got the fewest troops in here and drop a US guy in there. The main reason being is that means he's got to use an infantry and artillery to take it, or multiple infantry or a tank, or take his fighters off of here or his bombers off of here to trade, which will help free these guys up. So most likely I'm going to probably use a US guy to take it, I think. Keep building up. We got more, and we're building more UK guys down here, so we're going to continue to let the UK be the bigger ones in this case. We're going to continue to build here to match here. We're going to fly this guy on into there. Start walking this guy. Let me double check. That gives me 5 fighters here, which looks good. Let's double check all our units here. We've got 15, 17... 18 fighters there. I'd like to send one of them back. So one will come in, 19, he'll go here, he'll trade him, and he'll be 20 up in here. So we will have our 20 fighters. We got our 7 tanks. We got 2 that are going to blitz through. That'll go as 9 tanks. And we've got 5 more infantry coming. This was plus 3 in there, right? 8 infantry. 16, 29, 74. It looks like it sounds like that was all our units that we needed in there. Oh, hello. Let's not be dumb. I think that's everybody moving. And there we go. We got these guys. We may end up coming back to 7, or we can go to 3 next turn. I got a feeling we'll probably do 7 and 13. Him come back, 13 come down, fighters go down. All our boats go back to here. All our fighters come down here to cycle back around again, but we'll see. Not sure yet. A lot of it just depends on what Jay does, what Germany does. So, there we go. Okay, so I'm at a bit of a loss here. I'm not really sure what I want to do to defend at this point. What I do know is in order to attack Philippines, we're going to have to start planning for it. We're going to need more carriers, because fighters on the ground can go 1, 2, 3 and land on the carrier that's already built. Fighters on the carriers can go 1, 2, 3, 4 and land on carriers we plan on building. So, if we ultimately have 3 carriers, we have 6 fighters here, 6 fighters on the ground, 12 fighters, which we've got 14 in theater. Then if there's 6 fighters here, they can go 1, 2, 3, 4, land on 3 carriers being built, which is what we can pretty much build with. We've got 42 IPC if he decides to Hail Mary it. And then we'd have this 6 fighters here that could go 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would give us 12 fighters that can hit. So basically, for every 1 U.S. carrier, that's 4 fighters that can hit Philippines, with building a carrier for each 2, though. So, additionally, we just need more transports to take ground troops. Now, as we mass up, that'll also give us half the fighters available to hit here, as well as the ground troops to hit there. So yeah. Excuse me. So what I'm kind of envisioning is this turn I'm going to build a carrier fighter here, just in case he gives me the opportunity to find a way to replug Persia. I don't think we're going to be able to. I just absolutely see no way we can make it through G14, but I said that about G13 too. But I see no way we're going to be able to defend Persia against G14, so we're going to be pulling out on UK 13 next, i.e. next UK turn, so we can pull fighters to land on the carriers for the UK. Now they're only going to have the fighters that land that can be on the carriers, the only thing that can strike. So as we pull them out, maybe we drop a mini fleet back here to protect against the few bombers that could reach there. Build another transport or 2 for UK that could also then grab and go and start to put pressure on Japan now, since we're going to have to let Germany run wild. So, all that said, we do need 6 infantry for my boats here, so that they're going to get those. We're going to have 3 for dropping here, because we're going to get us a carrier, 1 carrier and a fighter. And I'm thinking 2 transports next turn, or it might be a transport and a carrier, or I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. So, any case, just going to do it without thinking about it. Tired of thinking. Tired of thinking. So I don't really see the point in trading now. Well, I guess, I could get the fighters out, but let's see. Well, we got 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. If we throw 1 more fighter, then I can go ahead and move the infantry in. If I don't throw this other fighter, I can't move the infantry in. This fighter can't do any good either way. So it's whether I want 2 fighters to hit here, or do I trust the 1 fighter and move an infantry in there. I think I'm going to do the 1-on-1, since I'm going to be coming back. I'm going to nail it with UK if I don't actually take it. Plus, if I have 1 here, then he at least has to use a mini force, and we've got a ton of planes that can just crush whatever he has there. So the 2 or 3, I can send 1 infantry and a bunch of planes to hit it. I'm almost tempted to put a small attacking force there, like 3 or 4 units, except for the fact that would expose Persia to getting hit. So that is not an option, unfortunately. So we're gonna go 1-on-1. We're just gonna send 1 guy there. You know, all this time I should have been, and in hindsight, I guess it made sense to send 1, because then I could just hit whatever he put in there. I could put a smaller troops and hit it with air, put smaller troops and hit air, and trade more efficiently than Germany was going to. So, but hindsight's 20/20. So be it. I think that's it. Yep. Nice. All right. We've got 18 planes. 3 planes coming in. Okay. We've got 68 in there. 5 coming in is 73 in there. I think that's good. Yeah, 9, 21. $55, 26, 35, 62. Putting 2 over there. Hopefully either draw some planes or draw mini ground units from him there that I can then reattack efficiently as I bail. So yeah, that's all we can afford, unfortunately. Oh, you know what? Why waste a US guy? We can use a Russian guy. Well, US is smallest in theater. Russia still packs a pretty good punch. Yeah, we'll just use a US guy. What the heck? Let's not think this too hard. The Russians will have to actually move next turn. They can't sit there anymore after next turn. Okay, so Germany bought 8 infantry, 7 artilleries. Again, not building tanks back here. He's just going to continue to build the ground troops until he doesn't need to build more tanks. Yeah, now he's moved some of his troops down this way. So next time he's got a good, what's that, 9, 4, 13, 17 troops he's adding in next time. I'm not going to have 17 that I've got numbers going into here. So, but we are going to be able to hold G14. So we're going to hold G14. We're going to do exactly that. We're going to hold G14. I do need to double check. I think we're good on the fighters here. Let me double check this real quick. He's got what? 11 fighters, 5 bombers, 11 fighters, 5 bombers. We got a couple destroyers, a couple battleships. We got 5 carriers And is 6 fighters what we need? I think 6 fighters is what we need. Yeah, 6 fighters is what we need. By my calculations on that G14, where'd my G14 go? G14, 27, 67, 72, plus 5. It's going to be 77. We'll have 11 tanks. Our 10 artillery still sitting there. 3 AAs. And from there, we'll need 22 fighters. We got 21 in there right now. We'll have these 3 that can fly in. That'll give me 22, 23, 24. If we were to fly out 2, what does that mean? Yeah, I don't think I want to do that because that locks the U.S. into have the flying planes in. So I think we're just going to keep our 6 that we got here. We'll keep those guys in there. U.S. will have to send at least 1 fighter in, which they can always build a couple. And we'll on U.S.'s turn after Japan goes, we'll figure out what U.S. is going to do. But we're going to go ahead and defend this guy another round here. The other thing is he did move his fighters down here. I guess he did the combat. He did the 1 infantry, 6 fighters, and he killed the 2 that were in there, but did lose his infantry. So he traded at a positive, but didn't get the territory. Still positive. He killed 6 for 3, lost 2, so 6-5. So slightly positive for him, but it put his fighters out of range of C-Zone 3. They're also out of range of C-Zone 13, so that's going to let me be able to split my fleets up, go to 3 and 13, and fly my fighters on down here just in case it opens up. We still have something going on down this direction. So we're buying 10 infantry, 7 for down here, 3 plus the AA that we can move up here, and we're going to buy us a fighter. Alright, so I think we'll go there. He'll probably just come back up and smash these guys. So why use 2 here? Every resource is big. Since we're only building 3 infantry for him, let's leave him an infantry that we can use next turn. Come on, tank, roll over them. There you go. Nice. I need to do a quick calculation off my fighters and my UK. If he was to, well, he does have these guys in range now. We gotta be mindful of that too. He could bring them on down. He's gonna give me some freedom up here if he does, but he could. So we may need to leave them there. We'll do some calculations real quick here. Yeah, he only needs to fly 2 fighters down here, even with my 4, to stop me. So without any fighters, we can move a couple guys this way at least. Is that everything? They're going to stay. They're going to stay. Move, move. We've transported them. And I think that's it. All right. There we go. And then we should be getting our fleets a little untangled up there at least. I'd like to get our fleets untangled here, which we might do when we bail out. See if we can't pull these guys this way, this guy, and then come into here and then down. I don't know. I'd like to get these guys untangled. I'd like to get my green with my green and my brown with my brown, but it's going to continue to be tangled. That's why we got mixed here. So,